Welcome back to Hockey Eastern Ontario's Rule of the Week, where each week we take a rule from the Hockey Canada rulebook and break it down for our coaches, our officials, and our players so that they can better understand the rule and how it's applied in a game situation. It is a new season, which means new rules. This is a rule change year, 2024-2025, so we're going to be talking about new rules this year. But as a special treat to begin the season, we are in Hollywood, California. That's right, the Dream Factory, I don't know, it's other things too. Anyway, Hollywood Hills right here. All these people are either here to see me or the Hollywood sign. I'm not sure which, but we'll try to update you as we go along. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about new rules for the 2024-2025 hockey season. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the new rules that have come in for this season, 2024-2025 in this episode. But before we get started, just a quick reminder, if you like this video, please go ahead and hit like on the video below, or you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like the content here. It really helps us out. Having said all that, let's talk about some of the rule changes for this season. The first rule change is for Rule 2.2a. The new rule states that teams may have a maximum of 20 players in uniform for any game, up to 18 skaters and 2 goaltenders. So what changed? Well, this was previously only for junior, senior, and U18 AAA teams could have 20 players. All other teams were restricted to 19 players. To be consistent across all divisions, all teams are now allowed to have 20 players in both minor, junior, and senior hockey. Rule 3.6D, this is just a small change to the wording in this rule. When a goaltender loses their helmet, facial protector, blocker, or trapper, or they've also added skate blade, play will be stopped immediately unless there's an imminent scoring chance that does not pose a safety risk to the goaltender. Basically, it's just the addition of a skate blade to this rule. Rule 6.3E, number 1. This is a new rule, okay? Really important to note this one. Any stoppage of play occurring in the end zone as a result of the puck going out of play or being unplayable will result in the ensuing faceoff taking place in that end zone at the faceoff spot nearest to where the puck was last legally played, regardless of whether the defending or attacking team causes the stoppage. So what changed? Previously, when the attacking team was responsible for the puck going out of play, the faceoff would come outside the attacking zone. That now is gone. When the puck goes out of play or becomes unplayable in the end zone, the faceoff will remain in the end zone. The purpose of this rule is to eliminate debate about correct faceoff locations. So really big change with this rule this year. Rule 7.1a, this is a new rule. A double minor penalty will be assessed to a player who commits any of the following acts with a minimal degree of violence and without using such an action to gain an advantage or inflict punishment or injury. Pulling an opponent's hair, grabbing the facial protector, helmet, chin strap, or throat protector of an opponent, headbutting or attempt to headbutt an opponent. So what changed with this? All actions must be penalized with a minimum of a double minor penalty. The purpose of this rule is to have consistency with the head contact rule. Rule 8.7, this is a clarification. Clipping, also known as a low hit, is where a player uses their body to make contact at or below an opponent's hips. This may take the form of a player lowering their body prior to making a check or being checked. Players may not crouch down to avoid being body checked. The change, this is clarification that a player who makes contact with an opponent anywhere below the hips should be penalized for clipping. The purpose of this rule is to simplify the judgment officials must make for a clipping infraction. Rule 8.8c, a new rule, a match penalty at the discretion of the referee based on the degree of violence of impact, including the impact with the ice, goal, or boards, may be assessed to any player who slew-foots an opponent. What changed? The addition of the goal or boards as considerations for assessing a match penalty. The purpose of this rule is to highlight dangerous outcomes and provide officials with additional guidance on slew-footing infractions. Rule 10.2a. A hand pass occurs when a player makes a deliberate attempt to stop, knock down, or push the puck with their hand, and a teammate in the neutral or attacking zone gains control of the puck. This includes when a hand pass occurs and the puck deflects off any person or object prior to the teammate gaining possession and control of the puck. What changed? The clarification here is that a hand pass infraction must be the result of a deliberate action by the offending player, and that this rule applies even if the puck does not go in the direction intended by the player. Rule 10.5a, a minor penalty will be assessed to any player who throws, shoots, or kicks a stick at any object anywhere on the ice. What's changed? Addition of kicking a stick or any other object as a criteria under this rule. The purpose of this rule is to ensure that players cannot use their sticks or other objects to interfere or threaten to interfere with opposing players. The following rules now apply to all categories of junior hockey. This includes coincidental penalties, Rule 4.6, Rule 6.4 face-off location, Rule 6.10 high sticking the puck, and Rule 7.7 head contact. The following rules were previously optional, but is now mandated in U18 AAA and all categories of junior. No change on icing and hybrid icing. Rule 6.7D and E. Rule 7.7A, number 1, Interpretation 1, new rule. Direct contact with an opponent's head. Where a player raises their stick, hands, forearm, shoulder, or elbow to hit an opponent in the head area, or drives their stick, hands, forearm, shoulder, or elbow into the opponent's head in any manner, it should be penalized as head contact with the appropriate penalty for the degree of violence of the contact. What's changed? The rule now references direct contact rather than deliberate. The change is intended to emphasize that officials should be judging the nature of the contact rather than the player's intent. Rule 7.7a, Interpretation 3, a new rule for junior and senior divisions. If a player ducks to avoid a check and as a result is hit in the head area with an otherwise legal check, this will not be considered head contact and no penalty will be assessed. The referee may assess a penalty to a player who ducks to avoid a check under Rules 8.7, clipping, if appropriate. This interpretation does not apply to a player who is in a vulnerable position as the result of a legitimate hockey play. Example, shooting, making or receiving a pass, etc. What's changed? The wording of this interpretation has been edited to clarify that this should only apply to a player who ducks with the purpose of avoiding the check. It should not apply to situations in which a player has lowered their body as the result of a legitimate hockey play. There you have it. That's a little bit about some of the rule changes that are coming in for 2024, 2025. I hope that's helpful for you. As always, if you have any questions about this video or any of the videos in our series, please go ahead and send me an email. My email address is below. You can also contact the referee-in-chief of Hockey Eastern Ontario. His name is John Reed. His contact information is below as well. You can reach out to your association or your district referee-in-chief, and they'll be happy to assist you as well. So it turns out that all of these people are in fact here to see me, and I've taken some time. I've signed all the autographs. I'm not lying to them. It could have happened. Until next week, have a safe and wonderful week. We'll see you back here real soon. All the best.